Well, hello and welcome again, everybody, to another edition of Demko Modelworks. I've had what you see here before me is some of the paints that we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to be going through on how I mix some of this stuff and a little bit about everything. So, because I've had several people ask me now how I mix, what paints I use and how to mix them. And so we're going to be doing that, and also going to be talking about sorry, the heater just come on, but we're also going to be starting off the build series for the 350 NX01, and we'll be going into that in just a little bit. But what you see here are the paints that I use, and I used to use the McKenzie taxidermy, the polytranspar, the lacquer, but a lot of people cannot get the lacquer base out of the U.S. I know, like Canada and England and stuff like that across the sea, you can't get lacquer based paints shipped across because they're flammable. So, but if you have an automotive paint store, you can get some type of a gloss clear coat. I use the Duplicolor, and I get the 1 quart version, and this stuff lasts for a long time, and so that's what I use. And then I also use the you can get just about any type of specialty reducer to reduce it down to make it thin again, to thin it out. And then I use the Pearl X powder pigments. Now guys, I'm going to tell you to make sure you pay attention to this, is because there are just the two different colors. There are two different types here. There's the Pearl X powder pigment, the Pearl, and then the Pearl X interference. Now for the iridescence, for the refit, you want the interference color. You don't want just the regular Pearl, because the regular Pearl is just a little too thick. It sprays on dark. So you want to get these in the interference colors, and they come in the red, blue, green, and gold. This is the, what is it, the 0.50 ounce. And I got these off of eBay. And this stuff will last you quite a while if you mix your powder pigment right. So, but okay, so for what I do, I saved once I run out of the polytranspar, I saved my bottles, and these are 4-ounce bottles. And so what I do is I will take 4 ounces of the gloss clear. And what you want to do is you want to find you some sort of measuring cup that has the ounces, and I go to 4 ounces of the gloss clear, and then I add 1 ounce of the specialty reducer. And then what I do is I use the 1/8 teaspoons, and I will just mix in 6 to 7 of these spoonfuls for each color. So for like the red, I'll take, I'll do the 4 ounces, and then the 1 ounce, the specialty reducer, and then 6 to 7 level spoons of the powder pigment, and put it in here, and then shake it up. Now what I've done is I've saved the little shaker ball in the bottom of this to help shake it up. Now if you don't have that, excuse me, if you don't have that, you can get the little small marbles and put down in there to help shake the powder pigment up, because if this stuff sits for any amount of time in between uses, all the pigment's going to settle to the bottom, and it's going to be real thick sediment on the bottom. So you want something down there to stir it up. You also going to want to get something to, like a stir stick, or like a skewer, or something long to get down in here to stir that pigment up with, because if not, you're just going to be spraying on gloss clear, or just some like a gray metallic. So make sure that you stir these up really well and shake them up. What I do is I'll get down there, stir that sediment up, and then I'll give it a really hard shake until you look down there and don't see any of the sediment sitting on the ground, on the bottom of the bottle. So that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty simple. Now you can use, if you can't get the automotive gloss, you can use any type of gloss, Tamiya gloss, or I don't know, I haven't used the Vallejo, but you can try that. Just something, you want something thick to get it. Now I've tried like the Future and all that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work as good as like a gloss. So you're going to want to make sure you get something like a gloss coat. I wouldn't recommend getting a matte coat or a satin or a flat coat. I would get a gloss of some sort to really help get that sheen to it that you see. So, but that's it, guys. Yeah, pretty much just simple, straightforward stuff. Again, and I'll put this stuff up at I'll put the measurements up at the end of the video. That way you can see, you know, I can, you know, y'all can, you know, pause it or whatever and get it, you know, get the measurements and stuff. So, but that's what I use, and it works real good for me. It lasts a lot longer than the polytransbar, because I think for me to order the 4 ounces of the lacquer based is like $50 something, and then it has to go through UPS, which has their own fee. So it ends up being like $60 to $70 for just 4 ounce bottles. But believe me, guys, if you do it right, those 4 ounce bottles will last you a couple of ships. The biggest two that you will use the most of is the blue and the gold. But like I said, there's plenty enough there to do a couple of builds with. But if you have this stuff on hand, this powder pigment, the powder pigment and the gloss and the specialty reducer, you can make quite a few batches of this stuff, and this powder pigment lasts quite a while. So, all right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it for this little segment here. I'm gonna get this stuff put away, and then we'll be right back with the start of the 350 NX01 series. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, welcome back. What you see here in front of me now is the saucer section of the NX01. Now, like I mentioned in the last video that we talked about this, we're not going to be building this as the NX01. This is going to be the NX52 Dorothy. And we're doing this in memoriam of Doug Drexler's wife, his late wife, Dorothy, that passed away last year. And I contacted Doug and asked him if it would be okay if if I built the ship in her name, and he said yes, go for it. So that's what we're going to do. So I have all my parts washed, and we're going to be going through and putting on, probably not on camera today, but we're going to be going through and putting on our adhesive promoter, and get it light blocked and everything. Go through and make sure we clean up all of the flash and the holes and all that kind of stuff. We're going to have to be doing a little bit of modification here to where we could use our put our mounting pole in here. I think it's going to sit somewhere right in here, maybe a little bit further back. So we're going to be doing that. So can't wait to get started on this. My good friend Cameron Lewis is going to be sending me the Aztec decals for this, as well as the registration name that's going to be going, the NX52 Dorothy. So we got a lot of work to do on this, guys, and we're going to be kind of following a couple of things. We're going to be doing a little bit different things here. I kind of put this thing together a little bit, and it was just kind of off just a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is following Boyd's trick over at TrekWorks, is cutting these pins, just the top of these pins down to the base, just down to where these little four little dills sit up here. That way we can make sure that it sits nice and straight and flush on there, because some of these kits, like the refit, you can start out on one side looking really nice, and then by the time you get over to the other side, there may be a little bit of a lip or a step of some sort, and we don't want that. So but we got a really nice board that Ralph from Tenant Controls was nice enough to donate for us, and this is the complete kit. And now this one here is the oops. This one here is a newer version of the 350NX nav strobe board that I used one of his older ones in the last build that I did, and he's upgraded some things on here. This one is now a remote control system, so that'll make it nice where you don't have to put any type of buttons on the base unless unless you just want to do some sounds or something like that. But it's a really nice board. It's got it comes with the Bassard boards, and so we're going to be installing those. And this kit also comes with he sends you some LED strip tape, some LEDs, and a few other little things that goes with it. So, but you guys make sure that y'all pay attention when y'all do these. Anytime that y'all get a bigger kit from Ralph, make sure that you pay attention to the wiring of the on the board, because some of them might have been switched. So make sure you pay close attention, and I suggest really looking over this the instructions before you get started, because one wrong wire can cause a whole big problem for the rest of the build. But if you can flip over here, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but let me zoom in here just a little bit. Let me readjust the camera here to where you can see. But as you can see here, he sends a nice diagram for you to follow, and so we're gonna be going through and adding all of our nav and strobes. Now on the ship, we can add in the bigger holes. What we did last time was we added 3mm LEDs fit really nice down in this bigger hole. And then for the other one, we could probably set down a 1.8mm. But you want to make sure that you take care of the instructions. Follow the instructions really carefully, because like I said, you can blow the board. Excuse me. And he even put a little note up there that says if resistors are not used where shown on this diagram, you will damage the board. So take really good care of how you build this, because like I said, one wrong move and that's it. The board's done. So, but it's not. It looks intimidating, but it's really not. Just follow the instructions of where everything goes, and it'll everything will be fine. So we'll take you through all that along this build. We're gonna be kind of doing a little bit of a different build, a little bit different than I normally do. I'm going to show you going back through and showing you how to solder in the wires and all that kind of stuff. There is one thing that I probably will not be using, that 7-wire the 7-wire ribbon. I'll be using my own, but I'll be matching the colors. I bought several rolls of the 30 gauge wire wrapping wire from Jerry at Demko Modelworks, so you don't get confused doing this. Now, a lot of people will just use black and red for their positive and negative wiring, and then label it, and then or black and green, whatever green and red wiring to do their wiring. And I've done that before, but it's gotten to the point where some of these boards are so sophisticated per se, where if you don't follow along with the right colors, it can get really confusing and you can mess something up. So we're going to be doing that. So we're going to take you through the whole build, guys, and the next couple of days, probably here by the end of the week, we'll have another video ready to where I'll have this adhesion, put my adhesion promoter on, prime it and light block, and then we'll start going through and start laying down some of the LED strip tape for the interior lighting. So until then, guys, we'll be back with part 2 of this build and get going on it, guys. So until then, we'll see you around the modeling community, guys. Take care, stay safe, and happy modeling, everybody.